that we can win. The 3 B's, and I'll have a whole chapter about this in the book, but the 3 B's is come from a winner's mind frame. It's how to actually win, how to maintain happiness and that peace. If you have these 3 things aligned, that peace will come. So what they are: better, balance, and believe. So those are my 3 B's, okay? Better, balance, and believe. Now these 3 words are all about how you think about them. So in a winner's mind frame, you're thinking, how do I get better? What can I do to better myself? How can I make this more efficient? When you're thinking like that, you're thinking like a winner and you're leveling up. Balance. Number 2. How does a winner feel about balance? Well, in a winner's mind frame, you want everything to have balance. That's how the world and the universe works. No matter what, there's always going to be a balancing factor. We know that from physics, right? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if we're spiraling energy of good out and goodwill and help, that's going to spiral to other people. If we spiral in energy of focus and trying to perfect something, that's going to spiral to the other people around us. That's just the way it goes. So we want that balance. Well, a winner always wants balance. They want to be strong and fast and smart. They don't want just one thing. You understand? It's about having that balance. Okay? It's about those scales of justice, or ma'at. That's a whole nother class. And number 3 in leveling up is believe. Believe. And what do we say? The number 1 person you have to believe in? That's right. Yourself. That's right. So when you're leveling up and you're in the winner's mind frame, you're thinking, oh, but yeah, that's balance. That makes sense. That's going to help. It's going to make it better. And you're thinking, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself. I believe in this work. I believe in this experience. That's a winner's mind frame. How are you going to go further if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in what you're doing, if you don't believe in the information that you have around you or is given to you? The environment, we already talked about that. That gives you the significant amount of your understanding of what you can believe, how you perceive it, your experiences. Okay? So if I look at it as this is just an experience, and you know what? I didn't do well on that first time, but that means I have so much more room for improvement. That's because I believe in my thinking. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in myself, in my ability to adapt, to change and get better. That's very, very important in leveling up. It's understanding change and being able to go with it, okay? So that's what we want to be able to do. I want to read something very, very important when I get the chance, and you guys will get to see how important it is in your life. But it has to do with imbalance, and what we talked about in number 2, right? So an imbalance on any level will ultimately manifest itself physically. All right? You hear that again. Let me show that again. An imbalance on any level will ultimately manifest itself physically. Now, we haven't got this. That's because as the levels come down, your physical receives all the energies of whatever you've been doing physically, mentally, emotionally, and lastly, physically. It comes through and manifests into your body. All right. So that's extremely, extremely important to understand. Any imbalance will eventually manifest itself physically. All right. That's very, very, very key in understanding the things that we have around us. All right. As well as the effects of people being around us. All right. And on top of that, this last one, I want to read the principle of accumulative detectable effects. This is very major. You hear that? The principle of accumulative and detectable effects. This goes along with healing. This goes as well as leveling up, understanding sounds. I'm going to read this part for you guys, and we'll leave off on that. This will leave you in a total leveled up phase. The principle of accumulative and detectable effects. The effects of sound are accumulative. The effects of sound are accumulative. The more we are exposed to beneficial sounds, the greater and the more permanent effect they have upon the individual's energies. The more we are exposed to detrimental sounds, the greater and the more negative effects it has upon us on all levels. Do you understand that? Our bodies respond to all sounds. That's why we were talking about and being uplifting. That's why we were talking about leveling up. To have leveling up, you have to have a certain level of awareness. That's why we were talking about to level up, you have to strive for better. And that's a winner's mentality. Okay? You can't expect to level up, or you can't expect to have different results or to gain to different levels, right? If you're still doing all the same things. If you're still listening to the same things, especially when we understand the principle of accumulative and detectable effects, everything is cumulative. Every sound is accumulative, okay? So if you're around someone that's belligerent all the time, someone that's angry, someone that's cursing up the storms all the time, or is what we call antagonist, or someone that is very contrarian, that will wear down on a person. It's going to wear down on their energy because it's taken from it. All right. We also know about how your voice is giving away your power, giving away your energy. All right. So if it's cumulative, we want to use it for the right things. That's going to keep us leveled up. That's going to keep us in a state where we find our peace. Because why? The 3 B's. We're looking for better, we become balanced in understanding balance, and we believe. And when you believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't do. When you believe in yourself, you're always going to try and get better and level up. All right? Wonderful class. Thank you so much. Remember the cumulative and detectable effects. All sound is accumulative. If you keep yelling at someone, that's bringing them down. If you can speak to them and make them understand you and feel you, well, that's when you're resonating with them. Okay? And we want to try to keep our resonance balanced. That's leveled up.